It was a quiet Saturday morning in a small-town diner called Millia's Corner Cafe, a place known for its warm pancakes, hot coffee, and the friendly smile of Miss Clara Jefferson, a 68-year-old disabled black woman who had been coming there every weekend for years. Clara was a retired schoolteacher, respected and loved by many. She moved slowly these days, using her old silver cane to balance herself. Her legs had never been the same since a car accident 10 years ago, but she never let that stop her from living her life with dignity. That morning, she wore her favorite yellow dress, her curly gray hair tucked neatly under a soft hat. She sat by the window, sipping tea, and smiling at the passing cars. She didn't know that in a few minutes her peace would be shattered by an act of cruelty on courage would soon follow in a way no one expected. 5 young men entered the diner loud, laughing, and full of arrogance. They were known troublemakers from the nearby blocks, their faces marked with overconfidence and disrespect. One of them, Ricky, noticed Clara sitting alone. He smirked and said loudly, "Hey, look at Grandma over there, must have escaped from the nursing home." The others burst into laughter. Clara ignored them, trying to focus on her tea, but they didn't stop. Another one, Trey, swaggered toward her and leaned over her table. "What's in the bag, old lady?" "Your pension check." The waitress, Maria, hurried over. "Hey, leave her alone," she said firmly. "You're not welcome here if you're going to harass customers." But Ricky just sneered. "Mind your business, lady. We're just talking." Then, one of them snatched Clara's cane and waved it around like a trophy. "Look at this. Old lady's weapon." The entire diner froze. No one dared to interfere. The customers looked down at their plates, afraid to get involved. Clara's voice trembled, but carried strength. "You boys ought to be ashamed," she said softly. "You're mocking someone who could have been your grandmother." Her words hit them, but pride and peer pressure made them crueler. Ricky pushed her shoulder. "Maybe you should stay home next time, Granny." Clara stumbled, nearly falling, but she caught herself on the edge of the table. Her heart pounded, and for the first time, she felt real fear. Then came the sound of the diner door opening. A tall man in a military jacket walked in. His presence was commanding, quiet, but powerful. His eyes were sharp and full of purpose. That was Marcus Jefferson, Clara's son. He had just returned from a 2-year deployment overseas with the U.S. Marines. Known for his calm strength and deep loyalty, Marcus had come home to surprise his mother that morning. When he stepped inside and saw his mother being surrounded by the group, his smile vanished instantly. "Mom," he said, his voice low and steady. Clara turned, tears glistening in her eyes. "Marcus," Ricky looked Marcus up and down, snickering. "Who's this?" "Another one of your grandsons." But when Marcus's gaze met his, the thug's laughter faded. There was something cold and steady in that soldier's eyes, something they had never seen before. He walked closer, his boots clicking on the tiled floor. "You've got 3 seconds to give my mother her cane back," he said quietly, "and then you're going to apologize." Trey chuckled nervously. "Or what?" Marcus didn't raise his voice. "Or you'll find out why they trained me to end fights before they start." Ricky tried to sound tough. "Man, you ain't scaring." Before he could finish, Marcus moved faster than anyone could see. He twisted Ricky's wrist, disarming him of the cane, then swept his leg lightly enough to send him to the floor without real harm. He didn't punch, didn't shout, just control and precision. The others froze. Marcus handed the cane back to his mother gently. "You okay, Mama?" She nodded, voice trembling. "Yes, baby, I'm alright." Then he turned to the group. "Now apologize to her." They hesitated. Marcus took a single step forward, and that was enough. All 5 mumbled apologies, their bravado gone. "Louder," Marcus said. "Sorry, ma'am," they said in unison. The diner was silent except for the sound of Clara's soft breathing. The same people who moments ago ignored the situation now watched with tears and admiration. Marcus didn't want to humiliate them, he wanted them to learn. So he said, "Sit down." They looked confused, but something in his tone made them obey. He sat across from them, calm and steady. "Do you know who you just disrespected?" he asked. No one answered. "This woman," Marcus said, pointing to his mother, "spent 30 years teaching kids in this town. Some of your parents probably learned to read because of her. She volunteered every Sunday to feed the homeless, and even after an accident left her disabled, she still walks to this diner every weekend just to smile at people like you." Ricky swallowed hard. The shame was written all over his face. Marcus continued, "You think being tough means picking on someone weaker than you? That's not strength. That's cowardice. Real strength is protecting people who can't fight back." The silence stretched long. Finally, one of the thugs, the youngest, one Devon, barely 17, spoke. Up quietly, "I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't know." Clara looked at him and said softly, "You know now, son. That's what matters." She reached into her bag and handed him a small piece of candy. "Sweetness goes further than anger. Remember that?" Devon nodded, tears filling his eyes. After the incident, the story spread across town. Locals talked about the Marine who stood up for his mother and the 5 boys who walked out of Millie's corner calf-humbled. But Marcus didn't stop there. He found out that 3 of those boys lived in rough neighborhoods with little guidance. Instead of turning them in, he started a community self-defense and discipline program free of charge. He called it Stand Strong. The same young men who had once mocked his mother began showing up. Under Marcus's mentorship, they learned not just fighting skills, but respect, discipline, and compassion. And every Saturday, Miss Clyra would visit the training field with her cane, watching them practice. They'd greet her with smiles and call her Miss J. One day, Ricky, now changed and humble, approached Clara and said, "Miss J, I'm sorry again for that day. You didn't deserve that." She smiled. "You've already made it right, son. Just keep walking the right path." He nodded, his eyes full of sincerity. Months later, a local newspaper ran a story titled, "From Disrespect to Redemption. A Mother has Courage and a Soldier has Honor." The photo showed Marcus standing beside his mother, both smiling proudly. Behind them were the same 5 young men, now mentors to others, wearing shirts that read "Respect is Strength." Clara often said, that day wasn't about fighting, it was about teaching. Sometimes, bravery doesn't mean raising a fist. It means raising someone's heart. And in that little town diner, where it all began, her story became a symbol of courage, love, and transformation.